Keyshawn Davis, the rising star from Norfolk, Virginia, has been making waves in the boxing world with his audacious call-outs, remarkable performances, and sheer confidence. His journey in the sport has not only been marked by impressive victories, but also by a willingness to engage in verbal sparring, which has fueled speculation about potential matchups with some of the biggest names in the division, particularly Gervonta "Tank" Davis. However, it's Keyshawn's mentality and approach to the sport that truly set him apart. His ambition goes beyond just fighting the best. He's determined to carve out his own legacy, even if it means rattling the cages of established stars. One of the most talked about aspects of Keyshawn's career has been his outspoken call for a fight with Tank Davis, the current WBL lightweight champion with an unblemished 30-0 record and 28 knockouts. From the outset, Keyshawn made it clear that he was not interested in waiting his turn. He had no qualms about calling out Tank, stating that the champion had no choice but to fight him now. "Send me a contract, bro," Keyshawn declared. The bravado in his words is palpable, and there's no mistaking his desire to make a name for himself in the sport. In recent interviews, Keyshawn has made it clear that he believes Tank has avoided challenging fights, despite his impressive records. The criticism is biting, but Keyshawn's confidence remains unshaken. "If I touch him, what's going to happen?" Keyshawn asked, referring to the potential showdown with Tank. The young fighter is adamant that he's more than ready to step up to the challenge, claiming that Tank's records is inflated and that he's avoided top-tier competition. At the same time, Keyshawn has been quick to remind fans and pundits alike that he's not just chasing Tank for the sake of gaining fame or recognition. He pointed out that if Tank wasn't interested in fighting him, he would still continue to make a name for himself, asserting that his rise to prominence was inevitable with or without Tank. "I'm not chasing you, little dude," Keyshawn said. "I'm going to make my money fighting you or not." The clash with Tank is something that Keyshawn seems to view as more of an eventuality than a distant dream. He recognizes that beating Tank would not just be about claiming a title, it would be a statement to the world that he belongs in the same conversation as the best in boxing, such as Tank, Teofimo Lopez, and Vasily Lomachenko. He is confident that his time is coming and that February 14, 2024, could be the night he steps into the spotlight with his first world title fight against Denis Berinchyk. Berinchyk, the 36-year-old Ukrainian veteran with a reputation for his crafty footwork and mental toughness, presents a significant challenge. Berinchyk's victory over Emmanuel Navarrete earlier this year added another notch to his already impressive resume. While some may view him as an underdog, Keyshawn understands that his upcoming bout with Berinchyk is crucial not only for his career but for his path to bigger fights down the line. Keyshawn has already made his mark with wins over former world champions like Jose Pedraza and Anthony Yigit, but a victory over Berinchyk would solidify his position as a true contender. If Keyshawn can get past Berinchyk, he would likely move into title contention against other big names, including Tank, Teofimo Lopez, and possibly even Vasily Lomachenko. The lightweight division is stacked with talent, but Keyshawn's ambition is clear. He doesn't just want to be a contender, he wants to be the best. One of the most striking aspects of Keyshawn's persona is his willingness to trash talk and call out other fighters, including not only Tank but also Teofimo Lopez, whom he has criticized for being overrated. Keyshawn's confidence is undeniably magnetic, and his words quickly went viral after his post-fight interview following his victory over Pedraza. "It's about time someone put Teofimo in his place," Keyshawn declared, dismissing Lopez's accomplishments as unworthy of the hype they received. This bold statement sparked debates among boxing fans, with some praising Keyshawn for his confidence, while others criticized him for underestimating Lopez, who had previously defeated Vasily Lomachenko and become a top pound-for-pound fighter. Keyshawn, however, wasn't just calling out Lopez for the sake of it. He framed his remarks as a declaration of intent, positioning himself as the fighter who could shake up the sport. "I know what I can do," he asserted. "I got a cue. I've been all around the world. I've seen it all." The self-belief is evident, but there's also a sense that Keyshawn might be stepping into dangerous territory. His bravado could be seen as a strategic move to get under the skin of his potential opponents, but it also risks coming across as overconfidence. There are plenty of fighters in boxing history who were undone by their own hubris, with Adrien Broner and Prince Nassim Hamd being two prime examples of fighters whose careers faltered due to a combination of confidence and underestimating their opponents. Keyshawn is well aware of the risks, but he also knows that in boxing, it's not just about being good, it's about creating a narrative. And Keyshawn is a master at doing just that. His call-outs, his trash talk, and his ability to draw attention to himself have made him one of the most talked-about figures in the sport. If he can back up his words with performances inside the ring, there's no telling how far he can go. However, there's no denying that Keyshawn still has a long way to go before he can be mentioned in the same breath as the elite fighters in the sport. His resume, though impressive, is still relatively young. Critics argue that while Keyshawn has the talent, his achievements thus far have yet to include the marquee names that would establish him as a true star. While his knockout victory over Pedraza was a statement win, Pedraza was far from his prime. Keyshawn has yet to face opponents on the level of Lopez, Lomachenko, or even Devin Haney. But Keyshawn has been vocal about his desire for bigger challenges, and that ambition has made him an exciting figure to follow. He is intent on breaking through the ceiling that so many other fighters struggle to reach, and he isn't afraid to stir the pot along the way. This has made him a polarizing figure, with fans either loving his confidence or questioning his ability to back it up. Tank Davis, for his part, has remained largely quiet in the face of Keyshawn's call-outs. Some believe this is a strategic decision, as Tank doesn't want to feed into the hype surrounding the young fighter. Others see it as a sign that Tank is simply waiting for Keyshawn to prove himself before granting him a shot. Regardless, Keyshawn has made it clear that he is not intimidated. "If you want to fight me, send me a contract," he repeated, reinforcing his stance that he's ready for whatever comes his way. Keyshawn's path to greatness is still being written, but if he can continue to back up his words with impressive performances, he could soon find himself at the top of the lightweight division. His upcoming fight against Baranchyk on February 14, 2024, will be a defining moment in his career. A victory there would solidify his position as one of the sport's brightest young stars, and could set up the kind of mega fights that he's been angling for since he first entered the professional ranks. For now, Keyshawn is laser-focused on his goal of becoming a world champion. He knows that in boxing, there's no room for complacency. "The time of waiting and holding back is over," he declared. "These younger fighters want the limelight now. They want to be superstars, and they're not going to wait for their turn." It's this mentality, this hunger for greatness, that sets Keyshawn apart from many of his contemporaries. He's not just waiting for opportunities, he's creating them. And if he continues on this path, there's no telling how high he can climb in the world of boxing.